If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I've regretfully been spending on this for the last 6 years. Since getting into the credit card game in late 2024 with everything that I've learned, I've not only realized how much value I've been leaving on the table, but I've made the switch to now move all of my spend to some other cards, earning both higher spending multipliers and diversifying my points between Chase Ultimate Rewards points and American Express membership rewards. I've laid out my plans in one of my recent videos to downgrade this card to either the blue or the gold card when my annual fee hits at the end of December. So with the knowledge that I have now about credit cards in general, and knowing that I'm not getting positive value out of my personal platinum card, the card that I just applied for the other day may surprise you. Welcome to the Jordan Rules for Credit, and on this channel I talk about my strategy in the credit card game to maximize the value that I'm getting from all the spend that I have with my wedding in fall of 2025. If you're in a similar situation to mine, having just got engaged, or your monthly spending has seemingly increased overnight, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel so that you can follow me along on my own wedding credit card journey, hopefully picking up some tips and tricks along the way, and at the very least, learning what not to do. So, I've covered my Delta Platinum card in several videos up until this point, with the most recent one being where I look at my 2025 wedding credit card roadmap, and I do lay out in that video how I fail to get positive value from this card every year. In this video, I won't go into as much detail on this Delta Platinum card, but if you are curious not only how this fits into my current wallet, but also my 2025 wedding credit card strategy, feel free to check out that video after this one, linked here. Like I said, the annual fee of $350 is set to hit on December 17th. So knowing that I haven't been getting positive value, only taking advantage of the $10 rideshare credit every month, about 4 free check bags every year that comes with this card, and maybe 2 or 3 months of the year we are using that monthly Resi credit as well, I knew that the time was now to make a change with this personal platinum card. So aside from the credits that I am using with this card, I am foregoing every year the $150 Delta Stays credit, as well as the Economy Companion certificate, because over the last couple of years, I haven't been traveling nearly as much, and when I do travel for a few personal trips a year, I am using my Delta Sky miles that I've been racking up by spending on this card primarily every single year. So I haven't had a need to pay cash with Delta for some of those personal trips that I've been taking in the last couple of years, having enough of those Sky miles to fund those trips organically. Assuming that Economy Companion certificate is worth around $350 at a minimum, I'm essentially foregoing $500 that I could be getting in value with this card. The main reason I'm deciding to downgrade and not cancel this card is because it is my oldest credit card account and I don't want to take too big of a hit on my credit score. If you don't know, your credit score is made up of 5 different factors. These include credit mix and new credit, each making up 10%, length of credit history at 15%, amounts owed at 30%, and payment history making up the majority of your score at 35%. As you can tell by what makes up the credit score, the most important thing is of course to never miss any payments and always pay off your statement balances on time and in full. Missing payments or carrying large amounts of debt will not only affect your amounts owed, but it will also affect your payment history, taking a big hit on your credit score that will take years to recover from. This will be detrimental in the credit card game, especially for someone like me who has plans to apply for several more cards into 2025 and even beyond, trying to hit more sign-up bonuses as we continue to increase our spend for that wedding that is upcoming. But it can also have a negative effect on things like loans for a car or even a mortgage on a house. If you do have a low credit score when it comes time to apply for one of those loans, you'll either be denied outright or you'll have to pay an interest rate that's much higher than the national average. As long as you're responsible, especially with credit card payments, of paying those statement balances off on time and in full every single month, your credit score will never see a dip, especially with those 2 categories making up 65% of your score. The next highest factor when calculating your credit score is that length of credit history at 15%. While this is a much smaller part, only at 15% when calculating your score, I would argue, and many others would agree, that it's almost as important than those other 2 categories. In my own situation, with the Delta Platinum card being my oldest credit card, being opened back in 2018, I never really want to cancel because if I were to do so, it would lower that length of credit history. The reason that I say length of credit history is just as important is because let's say you were to cancel your oldest card, there is nothing that you can do to groom or help your score recover. You simply just need to let time pass and do its thing, and eventually, over the next several years, your length of credit history will recover, making up that 15% of your overall credit score. So knowing all of that, I have made the decision to downgrade this to the Delta Blue card at the end of this month. That Blue card has a $0 annual fee, and the only tangible benefit with this card is the 20% back on in-flight purchases for drinks or Wi-Fi. and the spending multipliers are far too low for me to ever put any spend on this card outside of a couple purchases per year just to keep it active. This card also offers $50 off the price of a ticket for every 5,000 Sky Miles spent. The part that I'm struggling with this downgrade, and the thing that I don't want to lose, is that Takeoff 15 benefit, because it does bring you so much value if you do have one of those cards. Again, just giving you that 15% discount on any of those Sky Miles bookings. So like I said, I did just apply the other day for another Delta card that maintains that Takeoff 15 benefit, and that card is the Delta Platinum Business Card. I know it sounds crazy given the fact that I don't use a majority of the credits associated with my personal card right now, but I've got a great plan laid out for the first year that I do end up holding this card to get over $1,000 in value when looking at both the effective annual fee and the 70,000 point sign-up bonus that I was able to get. Let's start with looking at that effective annual fee. This card, like the personal, carries all the same benefits and credits, although the Delta Stays credit on the business card is actually $200 instead of $150, which is a little weird, and I'd love to understand why that is. Similar to the personal card right now, I am planning on using almost every single month that $10 rideshare credit, and mixing in a few months throughout the year that $10 monthly Resi restaurant credit. Between those two credits, we should be getting at a minimum $140 in value, although that is kind of a conservative estimate. But when really calculating the effective annual fee on any of my cards, I like to be more conservative. With that wedding upcoming next year, we are trying to save as much as possible, so won't be taking our yearly vacation. But with some weddings that our friends are having, we are going to end up flying quite a bit this year. So we should end up using, at the very minimum, 2 free check bags for those trips. But again, that is a little conservative, knowing the way that we both overpack and we'll be bringing suits and dresses and things to these weddings. That could easily be higher if we do end up checking more bags than that. We're looking at $210 in value between those 3 credits and benefits. Like I said, those weddings that our friends are having are going to require 1 or 2 night stays at a minimum, so we should be able to finally use that Delta Stays credit. So after applying that $200, we're looking at now getting into the green at a positive $60 in value with this card. As I mentioned before, I was eligible to receive a 70,000 point welcome offer on this card after 6,000 in spend in 6 months. So assuming the Delta Sky Miles are valued at 1.2 cents per point, we will be getting around $840 in value from that sign-up bonus alone. But with hitting that sign-up bonus, we also have some business travel planned, mainly at hotels that we do need to make purchases for. With both the personal and the business card, you are getting 3x back on hotels. So not only are we looking forward to taking advantage of that 70,000 point welcome offer, but to hit that sign-up bonus, we will be spending a majority of the $6,000 on hotels. So we're earning a decent spending multiplier on those purchases. Knowing that we had a lot of business travel upcoming, I was searching far and wide for a card that not only had a decent sign-up bonus, but one that could earn on that hotel category. I searched everywhere over the course of a couple of weeks, and I even ventured outside my typical Chase and American Express network, and I really wasn't able to find a card that made sense for us. Eventually, I realized that that perfect card was right in front of me the whole time. It's that Delta Platinum card that was already in my wallet. So earning that 3x back on hotels, and again, assuming those points are worth 1.2 cents per point, we are going to be getting around $180 in value from that spend alone. So between the credits and what I'm using to lower that effective annual fee, the sign-up bonus is 70,000 points, and the spending multiplier of 3x back on hotels, we are looking at $1,080 in first-year value. Not only are we getting a ton of first-year value when applying for this card, but it also gives us more flexibility with our wedding credit card strategy and even the years after. Going back to my credit score, I did have 2 main considerations when looking to add this card. If you're an existing American Express card holder, they only do a soft pull when applying for new cards, and the fact that this is a new business card, it won't affect my personal credit score, giving me the option to cancel after year 1 without it affecting my average length of credit history. Thinking long-term past year 1, which I recommend anyone do with any credit card that they're looking to apply for, I do have plans to downgrade this, at least as of right now, down to the business gold, mainly to maintain that Takeoff 15 benefit and those free check bags. Once that happens with that business gold, I should put in a little more time and effort to keep using that Delta Stays credit because it is a really simple credit to use. But with both the business and the personal gold cards, you are eligible to receive a $200 flight credit after $10,000 in spend on those cards in 1 year. So between the Delta Stays credit and that flight credit, I do have options for which I want to go for and use to again lower my effective annual fee and potentially get positive value. Let's say I do end up downgrading this business platinum card in year 2 down to the gold, and I don't end up using those credits, I could cancel in year 3 without it affecting my personal credit score. So I spent a lot of time considering all of my options and laid out a plan to get positive value on the personal side, downgrading to a $0 annual fee card, and on the business side, getting massive first year value with the Business Platinum. So I did decide to apply, and being an existing American Express member for both personal and recently getting approved for the Business Platinum card, the application only took a matter of seconds, and I read through the terms and benefits in detail as I always do with any application. I just wanted to make sure that I was eligible to receive that welcome bonus and see if there was any other differences between the business and the personal card. After just a few seconds, I was approved for a $10,000 credit limit, as you can see here. So I do feel good about this decision, at least right now. Who knows, maybe eventually I'll end up regretting adding another Delta card to my wallet, but I do now have more flexibility. If I ever did want to move my loyalty to a different airline, I can easily do so by canceling my Business Platinum card without having any effect on my personal credit score or my ability to get approved for other cards. So hopefully you did get some value from this video, walking you through my thought process with my own Delta cards and how you can implement those. But also hopefully I gave you some insight into your credit score and how to avoid a major dip that can take years to recover from. If you did get some value from my Delta credit card strategy and want to continue following me along to see what happens next within my wallet, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel down below. As someone new on YouTube, I want to be a resource for people that are in a situation like I was just a few months ago, having just gotten engaged, knowing I had a ton of spend upcoming, and knew I had to make some major changes with my credit card strategy. If you have any thoughts on what I decided to do with my Delta credit card strategy, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Did I make a huge mistake applying for this Delta Platinum business card, knowing that I'm not getting positive value out of the personal card right now? Or let me know what Delta cards you currently have in your wallet and how you do get positive value every single year. I'm really curious to see if there is a different way that I should be using these cards, or if maybe there's another card that I do want to add. Thank you so much for even clicking on and watching this video. You have no idea how much that support means to me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you stay tuned for more updates in the future. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.